Okay, well, I got a little bit lazy and I decided not to write a manual, but to do maybe a video of how to update the Grace Alliance website. So hopefully this will be easier for you guys, so that you can maybe able to go back and take a look at what I've done in video format. So let's start. Before I go over what to do in terms of updating the site, let me go over the basics of what WordPress has, or what I call the basic components of the website. As you have seen, on top we have a menu in the website. Each menu points to different pages, and pages will be something that you will see once you go into WordPress. As I said, those are driven out of the menu. You will not have a need to update any of these, or at least the menu, that is, for the pages that are pointing to um, that menu entry. The other interesting item that we're going to be updating are the sermons. Mostly that'll be done by the folks updating that. I'll show you how to do that quickly, but most importantly, there are two main items that I'll see a lot of updates moving forward. Are the upcoming events and the latest news. When we go into WordPress, you will see an events section, a sermon section, and instead of news, you'll see something called posts. So those to me are the main three items that you're going to be updating on the website. The other items are going to be the individual pages for each of the ministry, as an example. Here we have the men's group page, which we'll be loading in a minute. So what you will see in WordPress is the ability to update all of this area here, as you see my cursor moving. We can add images, you can add text, and you can add basically anything that will show up here, including links to other items. Meeting posts are going to be those related to the men's group specifically, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I have both the men's group and the youth group with this particular setting, so that when you go into their page, the meeting posts or news will be only those related to either youth group or men's group. And I can do that for others, but these are the first two I have done. So again, we talked about, in summary, from the first homepage, what I call the critical components of the website, which are the sermons, upcoming events, and then the posts or latest news, and the individual pages for each of the ministries or the areas of the website. Well, now let's log into WordPress, and to log into WordPress, you're going to use basically the same URL that you see here on top, but you're going to add the following suffix here, wp as WordPress-admin. Once you use the URL, you will see a login page. I will give you a username and password. I'm logging in my credentials now. You can just remember me. You don't have to log in again. So once you log into the website, this will be the main page that you see in WordPress. Well, the areas that we're going to be updating are fairly self-identified. We have pages section to update the pages of each of the ministries, or let's say items for the individual locations and others. Then you have the posts, the sermons, the events. We also have location and people. I rarely will see location and people being updated, but nevertheless, these are things that we can also update on WordPress. The rest of the items here, for now, you can pretty much ignore. And when you log in, some of these will not appear for you as a login as an administrator. So let's start with the pages, which is probably the simplest of all. When you click on pages, and do all pages, you will see all the items here listed. I have named the pages with a very self-explanatory name, so you'll be able to find out which page you need to edit. So for example, if you want to look at men's group, then you'll see a men's group page. If you want to look at youth group, you're going to see a youth group page. So like I said, the names are fairly intuitive, so you won't have any problems updating or finding, first of all, the page that you like to update. So let's go at youth group. And then on youth group, you're going to be seeing the items that you can update on the page. I mentioned that you're only going to be seeing, and what I'll do is to show you on the website. On the side by side, what you will have the ability to update and what you will see on the page. So the items here, as you see my mouse hovering, are the ones that you're going to be able to edit here in this area. The user interface for updating this area is very intuitive, it's very easy. It's like a very simple version of a word processor. You have the ability to add images, you have the ability to add video, and so forth. Once you're done with all the updates, you will hit the update button here, and then your page will be updated on the website. I'll do a quick test here. This is test, and for sakes, I'm going to add an image. So for adding an image, you're going to go to this button called Add Media. When you see the Add Media, you will see a series of images that are already preloaded that I have used in other areas of the website. If you need to upload a particular image, you can go and onto the Upload File section. You can select your file and upload your image to the website. User interface is quite simple. Once the image is loaded, you will have the ability to select it. I'm going to click this one here, just for the sake of an example, and I'm going to insert it to the page. And voila. The page is inserted, or the image is inserted, and now you'll be able to update the page. So you can see the updates going in. I'm going to reload the page since I have just updated it. As you can see, changes are reflected. Let me go back and remove them. Another simple and what I'll see as useful feature is the ability to insert, let's say, a video. You can upload videos that are already uploaded on the website, but you can also insert videos from, let's say, YouTube. Let's see if you can find an example. Let's take a look at one video here. Actually, go to the YouTube page. Search Reverse Lawrence Church. I'm going to put any other videos. I'm going to put the URL here. Let's drop it. And if I want to insert a video, you basically go to Add Media. And from the URL here, I will paste the YouTube URL. You'll see that WordPress is smart enough to know that the URL that I'm inserting is that of a video. You'll see a preview here, and then you'll be able to add it to the website. And it's that simple. So in summary, I've shown you how to edit a page, how to insert an image, how to insert a video. And like I said before, the video can be either retrieved from YouTube, like picking up the URL for YouTube, or you can upload a video to our website. I will suggest that we use YouTube instead, given that we won't have bandwidth issues, load issues, and playing the video off of our website. Okay, so now we've gone over the very simple interface of how to update a page, and this will be basically the same type of user interface that you'll see for basically everything else. The only item of interest that I want to point to you on this page is the following. You see the set image here? Right now I do not have a set feature image on this page. We go back to the youth group and reload. I updated it. I'm going to go to the page. You see when the updates have come through. Okay, and when updates are gone. One thing that you will notice is that there's no image on this area of the page or anywhere else other than the image that I've shown on the main body of the page itself. If I want to add an image, I can do so by doing the set feature image, and you'll see how that will show up here in a minute. I'm going to select an image from the library, and let's say for an example we'll use this. We're just picking up an image for sample sake. Notice that it will be showing here, and if I do update, you'll see what we have to do. There we go. You can now see that image over in this area here. Okay. That's another nice little feature for of WordPress, specifically this church theme that we have. I'm going to remove it and update. Okay, so I'm going to put it back the way it was. So basically, again, every time you make an update, go to the update button here to publish your changes. You can pretty much ignore the rest of the items here. This is for search engine optimization, and you can really doing much of that. And then the rest can easily ignore as well. There's not a lot of items of interest other than the ones that I just showed you. That is the ability to add content and set an image. Okay, so those are pages. Let's look at posts. And posts, again, are those little items that I'm going to show here. They're either labeled on the side as news, and they show in this area here. Let's take a look at a post here. This is for the pancake breakfast. And it has a little bit of information. I'm going to edit the same post on the website. Go back to WordPress and go to this pancake breakfast post. And as you can see, the user interface is exactly the same as the one I showed you with both the pages. There's literally no change. The only thing that you need to worry about on the post is to make sure that you select the category. And this is important so that when you go to the particular area of the website, let's say if you go to the Grace on a Mission area and you see the post sections, once this is selected, or the website will only be showing those posts that are related to anything that's checked with Grace on a Mission. Same thing we have currently provided for the men's group and the youth group. I will be doing something similar in the future for the Women of Grace and other categories of the website. But other than that, if you want to add a particular blurb of a news item that you want to show on the website, or for example, in the case of the men's group, if you want to put some meeting information, show you an example. Look here. And this is an example again of a meeting notice that I put for Jeff for the 20th of February. And notice that I selected the manuscript category here. Okay. So there's not a lot of change between what you see in posts and pages in terms of how to create one. We want to do that. I'm going to do an example here. Let's do that new for that new post. And you can put your title here. It's going to be a test post. I'll do something here. Let's do 1, 2, 3. I am going to make this part of the manuscript for now, for sake of an example. And that would be pretty much it. I can also set an image if I want to. Let's do that. Let's select the question mark here. That has the feature image. I selected the category. I selected or provided a title, some content here. I'm going to publish that. So now let's take a look. I'm going to now go to the manuscript site, or the manuscript section. You can see right on the side here the test post that I just did. I click on it. It shows the title, the date, who did it, and the actual blurb that I'll be adding. Alright. This post would also show on the main page. Take a look. You see here on test post. You'll see it on the latest news. Okay. So let's remove this post. So in order to remove the post, go to old post here. And the same pattern for removing a post will be the same pattern that you would do for removing a page. Although that will be very unlikely since we already have basically the skeleton of the website at the point. Okay, so usually you will be removing posts when they get old, or if you want to remove whatever you do not like to do, or do not feel like you want to post. So here in the trash, trash, I think I clicked on it twice. Go back. This is gonna there's 2 impatience. I clicked on it twice, so that's the way you delete it. Another way you could do this is by selecting it, go to trash, and then hit on the apply button here, and then select another one. I will not do that now in this one, but that's basically the way of editing a post. Alright, for creating events, this might be another one that will be very useful. I have a handful of events here. And to create an event, it's very easy. Again, you'll see the same patterns on adding and editing content on WordPress being used along the same way for all the different type of objects that you can update on that. So usually you have an add new button on the top. In this case, we're talking about events. So we're going to create an event. As you can see, the user interface looks very similar. We'll do test events. Then I'll do some content. And notice that everything looks the same. The only difference is that the event will have a date and time. Let's say we're going to do this in May 1st, 2015. We can add an end time. Let's say we're going to do this at 9 o'clock. Put a description. You want to make it a recurring event. This is something that meeting that you want to have on a recurring basis, you can do that, and then you can select for the reoccurrence. You can also select the venue in terms of the location of where you're going to have this. This is pretty much a name, a location. Let's see that, for example. You can put the address here. And if you know the longitude and latitude of the location, you can do that. The way to get longitude and latitude would be um, from Google Maps. That would be the easiest way of doing it. I don't have one handy for Timothy. If you want to get the longitude and latitude for Timothy, you can get it from an event that's already taking place there, and you can copy and paste it out. But other than that, that is pretty much it. An excerpt. This is a summary. Something to show on the page. And that is pretty much it. If you want to do an image as well, let's do an image. Let's look at testing here. Let's do okay. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Again, the only difference on an event is that you're going to be putting date and time and a location. And if you have longitude and latitude here, you will be able to display a Google map showing exactly where to go and direction. Okay, so let's update here so you can see this. That's it. Okay. Let's go back to the main website and refresh the page. Let's go down. Notice that these are recent events. You make sure the event is not that far in the future so that it shows up on upcoming events. Let's make this in March. This one. In March 3rd. I'm going to hit update. Should have published my event. I'm going to reload the website. Now let's see the test event here. Notice that the website only shows the closest events, the last 3 events, or the closest 3 events to the current date. Notice that the content is here. You can get directions to the events. If I would have put all the addresses together and the longitude and latitude. So let me show you an example of a nice looking one. This is Sunday worship. And Sunday worship, notice that I have information for Timothy here, the map shown automatically, and then I can click on get directions that will take me to Google Maps to get me there. This is a little bit of content that I have for our Sunday events so far. Okay, so that's an example of an event. Let's delete it. Let's put delete again. Go back to the all events page to see all of them. This time I'm going to delete it using the bulk actions option. So select this one. Move to trash. I'm going to apply it. My event is now gone. Alright, so those are pretty much the main portions of the website that I see a lot of changes going in as we update the content. Some of the things that we can change that I see being done or enhanced on a seldom basis are, let's say the pages for the staff. Say Mike wants to update his biography or some of his information. He will go to this section and edits anything here. Notice that I have a feature image for him. And I'm going to hit update. Same will go for Mark. If I'm going to update Mark's information, click on Mark, and then I can basically update this section of the website. Again, once you get used to the user interface of WordPress, updating other items in the website will be fairly intuitive. Okay. The other one is locations. I'm not going to go over locations because unless we get a building, it won't be added too much, but you can basically add it if you need to in the future. Anything that's related to the two locations that we have shown on the website. So we talked about that. Let's talk a little bit about sermons. And then sermons, again, the user interface is very similar to the rest. If you want to add a sermon, go to the new add button here. And you will get a similar user interface for adding a sermon. Notice that for a sermon, you have the ability to add a few more things that are specific to the sermon, whether we have a video, whether we have audio, PDF, and a little excerpt of the sermon itself. And then we have the books of the Bible that are usually associated with the sermon. Not all of them are listed here. I haven't loaded them all, but if you need to add one, go to add book and add a new book. If you have a series, you can also add series here. You can also, and this is important in the case of sermons, to select the right individual. Notice that I have still some old names that came in with the website when it was created, but I do have Glenn and the usual speakers that we have, Mike and other than that, the topics, you can also have topics as well. But that's, in essence, all you can do for a sermon when you hit publish. Let's take a look at how a sermon will look on the website. I go to the sermons page. Let's click on the sermons page. Sermon page will have what I call the body of the sermons page, which has that playlist, which you will not see on the user interface that I just shown you. That's another page. If you need to edit this, we'll go to the sermons page on the website. But to look at a particular sermon, which is what I was just doing right now, I'm going to click on one, scroll down, and then you will see the content of this particular sermon that I put together. Image, I have a PowerPoint here. Notice that the topics I include for that were hope. Speakers is Mark. And a few tags that I put in for that particular sermon. This is how it's shown on the website. Let's take a look at how it looks on the website. So we go here, click on sermon that we just spoke again. And here you go. You have the body of the page here, including a link to the PowerPoint presentation. I don't have a remark for it, but I do have the speaker, this particular time the book. I didn't have the sermon topic, but I could have added it for this particular sermon if I want to. The usual nomenclature or a pattern that I use for adding a sermon is basically the date, followed by a dash and the name of the sermon. Notice that this again does not include any of our video content. Our video content will show on the main sermons page as part of the YouTube playlist, or are added directly onto YouTube, and this is reflected on our YouTube channel. Particular playlist here. In this case, I'm looking at the guest speaker sermons. I'll go to Mark. I will see Mark's sermons. And again, this is not managed within the website. This is managed directly on YouTube. We only have a link to that YouTube playlist out of the website. That's pretty much the sermon that I was updating. And that is pretty much it in terms of the main items that I will see us as the staff church updating a lot. Again, in summary, we talked about the pages of the website, how we can edit, and you will notice that the specific pages are well named, and they should be very easy to find. Again, you'll have the ability to edit those. You have the ability to create posts, the ability to create sermons, events, and if, in any case, update any kind of location information and people. So that basically concludes a very quick overview on the basics on adding different elements to the Grace Alliance website and how to use WordPress. What you will be getting prior to logging in is an ID and password that I would arrange for you. You'll have your own login name and your own password. When you log in, you'll see your information here on the top. But other than that, the user interface, the options that you see here, will be fairly similar to the ones you're seeing on this video. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is pretty much a quick overview. There are other things that we can do on the website, such as adding pages and so forth. I won't cover this on this video. I just wanted to get something quickly out the door for you folks to start updating the website and getting us moving. If you have any questions, please get in touch with me, email me, or call me. Hope you enjoyed this video.